It's thundering outside and I'm really scared. So I'm just gonna do the video from down here. I don't want to die tonight. Okay, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm just screwing with you. Alright, so hey everybody, Teching here. This will be vlog number what is this? I think number 13. Pretty sure. Okay, so for this one, let's see here. Somebody, I forget who, I should know because I have it right here. Okay, EA Jensen commented something on the video 2 days prior to this saying you could do a 20 things you didn't know about me. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, I've thought about doing that, and I figured, well, today should be, you know, perfect day as any. Why not? It's rainy and sad out. It's really depressing because there's not a lot of stuff to do in this town, as you know, probably at this point. You probably know more about my life than I do. But going for a walk is the thing I do. It's my thing that I do, and I walk outside and it's thundering and rainy, and I'm like, damn you, storm god. It's gonna thunder. Hold on a second. There we go. I don't know if you heard that, but it did thunder. Okay, so thanks to my masterful Google skills, I found one. These are not 20 random questions. These are only 17. Random-ass number to be on here, but that was the first result, and there's the thunder. I don't have time to go back and read them all, but here, I mean, I don't have time to search for a 20-question ones. I mean, damn it, I don't have time to Google all day, people. All right, so let's do this. I was going to show the screen, but screw it, I'll just read them off. Okay, so I don't know what these questions are about. Just mostly, they seem to be just like random stuff. They don't seem to be anything like specific. Okay, so question number 1. How did you get your YouTube username? Okay, I guess these are focused on YouTube. Well, no, that's weird. The first question's about YouTube, but like the other ones are just like random about your life, so that's weird that it would start off with that. Okay, how did I get my YouTube username? I've already answered this like 3 times, but okay, so I came up with the name when I was like maybe 13, 14. I liked a show called Zoe 101, and I was trying to post on a forum on Nickelodeon's website about the show, and you need a username. And we had shitty internet back then, so I really didn't have a username for anything else. You know, I didn't have social media. I didn't have like a MySpace or anything back then. So I went with Teching, I just picked it out of a hat because I had a bunch of like, oh, I have all these gaming systems. I have a laptop, and big thing to have a laptop in like 2006. Big thing, you know. So I'm like the king of tech, which is really stupid, I know. But when I was like 13, 14 at the time, so sue me. I picked that name, Teching, and I was watching Zoe 101, so I went with Zoe Teching 101. So there we go. I don't know why that's a question. That's so random. Because there's like the other 16 are nothing pertaining to YouTube. That is so weird. Alright, whatever. And there's another one about Pokemon on here, so this is a very random questionnaire, but whatever. Okay, number 2. If you could change your name to anything, what would it be and why? If I could change my name to anything. I've always liked the name Jaden. You know, mostly because of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, but it's just a cool name. And if I have a kid, if I have a son, I will most likely name him Jaden if my wife, you know, permits me to name my son, or if she's cool with it. But yeah, I like the name Jaden, so I guess I would change that. The thing that always bugged me about that, though, is when somebody will always say, oh, your name's Matt, you look like a Matt. Or if your parents say, oh, we were going to name him, actually, I was supposed to be named Terry, because my dad's brother, who died very young, was named Terry, so we were going to name me Terry. Whenever your parents bring that up, like, oh, we were going to name him Terry, or we were going to name him Nick, the person will always undoubtedly say, oh, no, but he looks like a Matt. I'm like, how can you look like anybody? You can't look like a name. You know, the only thing I can kind of see that is, like, you know, like, oh, like there's an actor or an actress that has the same name, and you look a lot like the actor or actress. That's the only thing I can see. But other than that, you can't look like a name. If I had been born and named Terry, people would be saying the exact same thing, like if you brought it up. Well, we were going to name him Matt. Oh, no, he doesn't look like a Matt. He looks like a Terry. You know, see, like, it's just psychology, but that always kind of bugged me that people always say, like, oh, you look like your name. You can't. I mean, like, unless I have a kid and name him Keanu, and he's like, oh yeah, he looks like Keanu Reeves. Like, that's the only difference. Besides, Keanu Reeves will probably look the same as he does in 20 years as he does right now, so whatever. But yeah, he's just one of those actors that doesn't seem to age. Alright, so number 3. If you could go back in time and give your younger self advice, what would it be and why? Okay, The thing is with me, first off, if I were to just, like, if I were to time travel in the past and see my younger self, I'm pretty sure I'd be cool with that. Like, you know how my personality is. I'm always, I've been reading, you know, and I'm watching anime, reading manga. I was a big fan of these science fiction stories as a kid. So, even when I was like 15, 16, I was already very interested in the idea of time travel, very interested in the idea of like multiple universes. So if an older version of me came to like, just showed up one day and I'm 15 and I'm just 22 and I appear and I'm like, hey, I'm your guy from the future. Be like, oh, okay, cool, awesome, so what's going on? And I would just be like having a normal conversation. You know, it wouldn't be like in a movie where it's like, oh my god, it's me from the future, what is this sorcery? No, I'd be cool with it, probably. What would I tell my younger self? Alright, all honestly, like, full disclosure, aside from, like, lottery numbers, like, okay, here's the Powerball, you know, no. I would go back to probably when I was freshman year of high school, so I would probably I would have been 14 going on 15 there. I would have told myself to stop being a little pussy with girls and just tell them how you feel. And the reason for that is I had a thing for a girl. I had a crush on a girl for 3 years. 3 years in high school. That took up most of my high school career. And the sad thing was, for 2.5 out of those 3 years, she had a steady boyfriend. So I was obsessed with a girl that I knew I couldn't have for 3 years. It consumed me. It's like all I thought about. So I would go back to when I was a freshman in high school and I'd be like, hey, you're telling her. And like, no, okay, then I'm punching you. I'm like, but you're punching yourself. I'm like, I don't care. We're not dealing with this shit. Tell her, and she's going to say no, but, and you're going to be upset for a couple days, like, wham, wham, boo-hoo, but you'll get over her and you can move on. And my other piece of advice would just be like, you don't have to be all centric on girls. You can focus on other things. You know, keep in mind, this is high school. This is not like a guide for what's going to happen for the rest of the world. Except the drama. Drama in high school does not end after high school is over. It continues on in real life, and we pretend to act like it doesn't, and we just pretend like, oh yeah, in the real world, you know, I don't need this shit, I don't need this drama, but drama's everywhere. It's just more out in the open in high school. So yeah, that's probably the advice I would give to my younger self, aside from going back when I was like 5 and give myself like, you know, here's all the lottery numbers, here's technology from the future. Yeah, I go back and my younger self is playing on my Game Boy Color and I drop it. I'm like, oh no, like here's a 3DS, have fun. You know, I could do that. I would love there to be a multiverse, like another, yeah, kind of like a multiverse time travel, like with Dragon Ball Z. You know how like Trunks, so Trunks lives in his own little universe, but when he travels back in time to save, you know, to defeat Frieza and like inform the Z fighters, that's a different universe. Like Trunks can go back in time and kill himself as a baby, but he'll still be there because he's like jumping between universes. That'd be kind of cool, because that way you don't have to worry about paradoxes or, you know, oh no, you had sex with your own mom and blah blah blah, Back to the Future parody. No, you can just do whatever. Alright, number 4. How old were you when you first learned how to blow a bubblegum bubble? I was like 7, but I still can't blow one very well. I remember one time me and my dad went into Walmart, and there was this lady in the front of the store, and she's like, we're going to have a bubble blowing competition. And we're like, okay. So she gave me like an entire bag of bubble gum for free, and she's like, go and, you know, chew the gum and then come back here at 4 o'clock or whatever. And she had this little protractor thing that measured the bubble, and like 3 of my friends from school were there and they were doing it, and my bubble was like, I remember this, it was 4.5 inches. I remember this. It was 4.5 inches. Wait, no, that's the length of my... Just fucking with you. No, it was tiny. It was only like this big. I blew a shitty bubble. And then my friend Cody blew one that was like, his was probably closer, like, because yeah, 4 inches, that's big. That's, wait, 4, come on, Matt, you know, like, I don't know, this length right here, I want to say this is about 4 inches, but this seems really longer than me. This is getting really perverted, so I'm going to move on. Then again, we're Americans anyway. Americans use inches and feet, not like the rest of the world that's using metric, and we're the weirdos. Okay, number 5, what did you want to be when you were little? Shit, man, I don't know, like, I really didn't have any aspirations when I was a kid. You know, at least when most people are kids, they think like, oh, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a, you know, scientist. No, I didn't want to. I didn't think about it. I just didn't think about it. My mom kept trying to push on me, oh, you like to draw, so you want to be an architect. I'm like, why do you have to be so quick to put a label on everything? Like, I like to draw. That doesn't mean my life is going to center around drawing. That's a very emo teenager thing to say, like, dang, Mom, I like to listen to music. That doesn't mean I want to be a, DJ the rest of my life. But no, I just didn't think about it. I probably didn't pay any attention to my future until I graduated high school. And I'm fine, so far. I remember there was one class in high school. It was called Futures. That's what the name of the class was. It was called Futures. And it was taught by Mrs. Condor, who was, like, ridiculously hot. She was, like, 23. She was, like, right out of college teaching this class. It was, like, basically just a class to give us, like, forms and worksheets on what we would want to do with our life. And I think it tried to separate you in, like an English category, a math category, engineering, whatever. And I got English, but I can't remember. Like, whenever someone asked me in high school, so Matt, what do you want to be when you grow up? I would just say, I don't know, a writer. Because that's the bullshit answer that, yeah, hey, you want to hear an answer, there's an answer. And we can just bullshit about me pretending to want to be a writer for 5-10 minutes, and then I can leave your office. I'm not planning on this shit at all. But yeah, I mean, I'm doing the YouTube thing now. If I can keep doing it, and I can somehow make a living off of it, or this can get me a job elsewhere, that'd be great. But, otherwise I'll look other places. Number 6, what did you order at Starbucks? I never go to Starbucks. The only Starbucks close to here is 20 minutes away. I know that's weird because most places have Starbucks like everywhere, but we only have one Starbucks in this area, and I never go in there. Not a huge coffee drinker, not a huge, cappuccino, and I wouldn't go into Starbucks anyway, even if I wanted that shit, because it's way too fucking expensive. Number 7, what's the hardest you ever laughed? It's the hardest I ever laughed. I remember I laughed so hard once I threw up. And that was when I first watched the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit when I was like 7. Yeah, I physically threw up on the carpet from laughing within the first 10 minutes of that movie. And my mom got really pissed at me. But it was just that funny. I just seriously could not turn it off. So that's probably the hardest I've ever laughed. Number 8, if you could play a musical instrument, what would it be and why? I've always wanted to play the piano. Mostly because of Soul Eater, but also because of... No, mostly because of Soul Eater. Also, it's one of the only instruments... Well, I mean, I guess you can play any instrument sitting down, but you have to sit down to play the piano. But I also thought it was really cool. You have this keys, and you have to get in, like, the right order and sequence, and, you can do it. Just easier than... I think it's a lot easier because people that can actually play violin and play guitar are just going to laugh at me when I say this. But from my perspective, the idea of having, like, a guitar which has, like, I don't know how many strings are on a guitar. I'm going to say probably 5 or 6. I don't play instruments, so I'm probably wrong. But the idea, like, stringing your strings, like, wouldn't you get all, like... At one point, I don't know, I would just get really, like, my fingers would just get all clustered together because the strings are so, like, close to each other. I would start hitting other strings when I'm not supposed to. Once again, people that can actually play guitar can actually... And the violin, if you're playing violin with a string, wouldn't it be really easy just to... Like, if you off by, like, a centimeter, wouldn't that fuck up the whole thing? And I couldn't do that. I would lose my place and I'd be like, moved it like a centimeter. Oh shit, I'm sorry. Okay, where was I? Okay, I'll just start over. That would be me. But piano, everything's like laid out, straight. You just have to hit the keys in the right order. It's not all bumbled up. And my friend, Casey, can actually play piano very competently. She actually played the Sailor Moon intro. She did the whole thing to Sailor Moon. And she tried to teach me for a little bit. She actually took courses. She actually had, like, she was taught it since she was a kid. But she tried to teach me, and I just wasn't clicking. I think I can play. I can dibble out Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. But yeah, if I could just ever, like, magically, like, you can play any instrument magically, I would pick piano. Number 8. No, that was number 8. Well, number 9. What's your favorite thing to do when you're upset? When I'm upset, probably make a video or a live stream, or because that usually calms me down, or just sit around and play video games and shoot things on Call of Duty. Because that's what I would do in high school. I'd get home, I'd be, like, all frustrated because of a girl, and I'd just be like, I need to shoot things! So I just shoot things. Number 10. Was that the Diary of a Serial Killer? I don't know. Number 10. What's your favorite movie? Shit, man, I don't know. I like Quentin Tarantino. I like Pulp Fiction, Dusk Till Dawn. Forrest Gump's a really good one. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and list off all my movies. That'll probably be a separate vlog if it is anything. What's the one food you cannot live without? One food I cannot live without. trying to think of something like I genuinely like. I just had Chinese food today, and at the Chinese place I eat at, they have these walnut shrimp, which is like really, really good. It's like shrimp coated in like this walnut dressing, but it's really like cream almost. It's really good. I can't say I can't live without it, but if they just stopped serving it one night, I would probably be really bad. I would, you know, that's the one thing if they're out of, I'm get really pissed about. What's your favorite dessert? Probably chocolate mousse. Had this really good chocolate mousse one time. Number 13, favorite pizza topping. I like stuffed crust pizza. If that's not really a topping, but it's a huge bonus. If not, I'm gonna go with onions, red onions, really good. Number 14, would you rather have the superpower to read minds or superpower to be invisible? Oh, be invisible, absolutely. Why would I want to fucking read minds? Oh my god, that would be... Can you believe that? That's not even in the same ballpark. Read minds or be invisible. That's like, would you want the superpower to turn into a rock or to fly? You know, that's like, oh my god, I don't want to... Okay, first off, like, if it's not voluntary, if it's just like I'm walking around hearing people think, I'd blow my fucking head off. But let's say it is voluntary. Let's say I can just focus on one person and say, I'm going to listen to their minds. People go into some dark places. Not only the fact, like, even people like my close friends, I mean, there's a point where at least even the people that are really close to you, you know, even like your family and friends would probably get really annoyed at you. So I don't want that. Like, I go up to somebody, I've like, hey, man, I've known you for 10 years, and I'm reading your mind. It's like, oh my god, Matt is so annoying when he goes on these talks. I don't give a shit about YouTube. Why does he keep going on about that? I mean, I'm not saying my friends think that, but they could conceivably, and that's their thoughts, they're private. And let's not even go into all, like, the perverted shit I'd probably read about people. Like, oh, this is your fucked up fetish. Oh, this is your fucked up fetish. Oh, this is your fucked up fetish. Like, I don't want to know all that shit. Yeah, so be invisible. I mean, I wouldn't even, like, if the option was have no superpowers or have the ability to read minds, I still wouldn't take it. I don't want that power. I mean, it might be useful to the sake of, like, you know, just for gambling maybe, but even then, I'm like, not worth it. And yeah, I would go with being invisible. I guess, okay, but still. Number 15. What did you do for your last birthday? What did I do for my last birthday? I was in college, and my friends got me some stuff. Because I gave them a cake for their birthdays. I got a cake. I got cards from my friend Sarah, which I have somewhere. And she gave me a Kirito. I think I still have it on my keychain, actually. Yeah. She gave me this. She gave me a Kirito keychain for my birthday. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, I don't really do much shit for my birthday. Like, even when I turned 21, I didn't drink any alcohol. Don't see any point in it. Number 15. Oh, I already did that. Number 16. If you had one personal selfish wish, what would it be and why? If I had one personal selfish wish. Okay, let's just assume, like, let's not do, like, ooh, it's thundering again. Let's not do any, like, hubris, monkey paw kind of shit, where it's like, I wish for $1 million, and they give me $1 million that was stolen directly from Fort Knox, and I get arrested and thrown in federal prison for the rest of my life. Let's say it's like, I get one selfish wish, exactly how I envisioned it. You know what? There was a show. You know what? I would probably wish for more episodes of Fooly Cooly. Let's just go with that. Not even just Fooly Cooly. I would wish for the ability to control television and control which shows have, like, how many episodes of each show exist. That's what I would wish. Like, I get, like, the ability to just say, oh, this series gets this many seasons, this many episodes, and I can keep that going indefinitely. I can say Fooly Cooly, the anime, it's still running. Yeah, it has, like, episodes. It's still going. You know, I can do that, and I can control where the episodes are going. I can make sure, like, oh no, we're not doing this. We're doing this, like, to make sure it doesn't get shitty. Because think of how many shows that you've loved personally that nobody else even gives a shit about. Even shows that are mostly, like, weird. Like, okay, like, the one that comes to mind is that there was a show on Adult Swim about, I think it was 2007, and some of you might remember this. I don't even know, because it's, like, never discussed. It's like, because there's been so many one-off shows on Adult Swim that just, last maybe a few episodes and they immediately die off. And Adult Swim caters to that kind of stoner mentality and stuff, so the shows aren't really good quality. Well, I would say Aqua Teen Hunger Force is still pretty good, even though that's on the last season. Oh, that's what I would do. Make sure Aqua Teen gets another season. But there was a show on Adult Swim in 2007. It was called Saul of the Mole Men. Does anyone remember that? You might remember like the promos for it, but there were 20 episodes, which was very ambitious for a show, and it was live action, and it was basically a parody of the it was a parody of like Land of the Lost. Like there was really shitty green screens, really shitty voice dubbing, but that was the point of it. Like if you just watched an episode, you'd be like, "Oh my god, this is so horrible to watch because the green screen is so bad, the voice dubbing is so bad, the costumes are so bad." That's the point. And I really liked it. It had a very interesting story, and it ended on a cliffhanger. And just go look it up. I'm sure you can find it on the Adult Swim online or something. But yeah, that's what I would wish for: the ability to control TV shows. If you were a Pokemon, and this is number 17. If you were a Pokemon, what would you be called? What would you look like? If I was a Pokemon, what would I be called, and what would I look like? I would probably be. Let's go with Steel type for me, and the ability Steel Electric type like Magnemite, and I just basically have like a mecha suit. Like I'm mecha teching. It's like, oh yeah, you better run because he's gonna chase you. Ain't that right, Metalamat? You know, that's a Aqua Teen Hunger Force reference. But yeah, that's probably what I would go for, just to have a mecha suit. Even if I was like actually the mecha suit. You know, it's not a suit. I'm actually a robot. I don't care. I'd go with that. Okay, that's it. This video's gone on way longer than I intended it to, but I tend to ramble. Tomorrow's video will be something else. Thanks, everybody. Signing out. I'm going to go hide now because it's still raining and I'm scared.